Malaysia's strong financial system able to safeguard its economy. COVID-19 ICU patients at record high as 660 new cases reported. Welcome to News at 10. I'm Brendan Lepol. The government will draft comprehensive measures under Budget 2021 by using findings from the Prihatin survey conducted between 19 August and the 22nd of September. Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz said among the survey's findings would be studied were mental health care support and job creation. Conducted by Laksana, the Prihatin survey, which involved more than 11,000 respondents nationwide, was aimed to get public feedback on the impact of the implementation of the Prihatin package. The survey covered several target groups which were categorized as distressed across different income groups, namely the B40, M40 and T20. In terms of satisfaction, the minister said 80% of the respondents were satisfied with the implementation of the Prihatin package.
Bagi bantuan yang dilaksanakan di antara 3 hingga 6 bulan pula, kepuasan tertinggi adalah untuk program pengekalan pekerja di 70%, ikuti moratorium PT-PTN 69% dan juga ela untuk barisan harapan 69%. Dan moratorium pinjaman bank automatik serta diskaun elektrik ni kedua-duanya 67%. Pelaksanaan pemberian internet percuma 1 GB pada tahap kepuasan 65%.
The findings of the Prihatin survey will be used to formulate economic recovery efforts, including Budget 2021, which will be announced in November. Meanwhile, Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul said the Laksana unit would carry out proactive monitoring to ensure that the Prihatin package, as well as that of Kita Prihatin, can be channeled quickly and effectively. Malaysia's strong financial institution system and preparedness can safeguard its economy from falling into a crisis. Bank Negara Malaysia Deputy Governor Jessica Chu said the country had the capacity to respond to the potential spike in the COVID-19 infections much better than it was in March. In a virtual briefing on the Financial Stability Review today, Chu said, unlike during the Asian financial crisis in 1997-98, the current banking system is substantially stronger with 18% capital ratio as compared 10% during the crisis, and this is due to the stronger lending standard. Chu also said that the Malaysian bond market is much more developed compared to time of the crisis, hence the degree of concentration of economic dependence for funding on the banking system has reduced. Asked if the ongoing political development could affect the financial stability, Chu said the central bank, armed with its regulatory and supervisory policies, is managed independently devoid of any political development. Kuala Lumpur International Airport (KLIA) remains an attractive regional hub for aviation, with another 3 international airlines resumed operations since early October on the back of increasing confidence in air travel following effective COVID-19 safety measures. Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad (MAHB) said the international airlines were British Airways, which offered 4 flights a week from Kuala Lumpur to the United Kingdom and beyond, Oman Air and Ethiopian Airlines. In a statement today, MAHB said airports in Malaysia continue to see gradual monthly increases in both passenger and traffic movements. In September 2020, passenger traffic movements rose by 19% from August to 1.7 million, while aircraft movements increased by 9.8% to 27,010. MAHB also said throughout the year, air cargo operations in Malaysia had remained relatively stable. It said cargo movements had shown resilience, whereby data from January to August 2020 showed that cargo operations in Malaysia averaged about 65,000 metric tons a month, compared to about 76,000 metric tons a month in 2019. Meanwhile, MAHB's operations at Istanbul Sabiha Gökçen International Airport continue to see close to 2 million passengers last month, with 5 international airlines operating at the Turkey's airport to date. This led to the group registering a total of 3.5 million passenger traffic movements in September 2020. The Personal Data Protection Department, JPDP, today confirmed that there is no issue of leakage and sale of personal data involving AirAsia Berhad Group. JPDP, in a statement today, said it had received an explanation from AirAsia on a media report over the alleged sale of the airline customers' personal data to an American firm. The statement said JPDP was satisfied with the explanation given by AirAsia regarding the issue. It also stressed that the sale of personal data is an offence under Section 130 of the Personal Data Protection Act, which provides for a maximum fine of 500,000 ringgit and imprisonment of up to 3 years, or both upon conviction. Previously, AirAsia Group Chief Executive Officer Tan Sri Tony Fernandes was quoted by the media as saying that a US firm is willing to give a loan of up to $1 billion to the company for the data of its customers it has accumulated from its business over the years. The statement had raised concerns among AirAsia customers about the security of their personal data. The Standard Operating Procedures SOPs in force for the Klang Sub-District, which was placed under the Conditional Movement Control Order CMCO on the 9th of October, is now void, following implementation of the order throughout Selangor. Now, this was announced by Senior Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob today.
Oleh kerana kerajaan telah pun mengumumkan PKPB seluruh Selangor, dan Selangor tentu saja termasuk mungkin Kelang, maka SOP yang diumumkan untuk Mukim Kelang adalah terbatal. Jadi secara automatik SOP Mukim Kelang terbatal apabila kerajaan mengumumkan PKPB di seluruh negeri Selangor.
The implementation of the CMCO in Selangor, Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya has begun effective today. On that note, the senior minister said religious authorities will announce the SOPs to be used for congregational and Friday prayers at mosques in these 3 areas during the CMCO period. On the spreading of fake news related to COVID-19, the senior minister said that as of today, the Police and Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, had opened a total of 273 investigation papers. He said 136 cases are still under investigation, while 34 cases have been prosecuted in court, with 21 found guilty and 13 still on trial. 12 others were given warning notices, and Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said during the same period, there have been a total of 390 denials and explanation regarding fake news that have been clarified to the public by the Quick Response Team of the Communications and Multimedia Ministry, which was established to curb the spread of fake news relating to COVID-19. Another new COVID-19 cluster was detected today as Malaysia confirmed 660 new infections today, staying above the 500 mark of daily cases for the 4th day running. At his COVID-19 daily briefing telecast from his home today, Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said the bulk of the cases continue to be from Sabah, with 429 infections or 65% infectivity. 4 new deaths were also recorded in the past 24 hours. He said the bulk of the cases continue to be from Sabah due to the increased COVID-19 screening activities which are being carried out in the state and with more samples producing results. Kedah, meanwhile, has the second highest number of cases with 113 cases. The Kencana cluster, the sole new cluster detected by the Health Ministry, included cases in Hulu Langat, Petaling, Klang and Gombak in Selangor, Cheras in Kuala Lumpur, as well as Johor Bahru, Batu Pahat and Pontian in Johor. The index case of the cluster was discovered through the screening of an individual who displayed symptoms of the disease. Following this, the individual's close contacts were screened with another 16 cases detected.
Sehingga 14 Oktober 2020 jam 12 tengah hari, sejumlah 23 individu telah disaring, di mana 17 kes dikesan positif COVID-19, 4 kes 4 individu negatif dan 2 individu masih menunggu keputusan.
Malaysia also discharged 233 patients, bringing the total of COVID-19 recoveries to 11,605, or at a rate of 66.2%. Active cases in the country now stands at 5,768 cases. Cumulatively, the country's total of cases since the outbreak began in January is 17,540. The number of people being treated at intensive care units has reached 108, an all-time high, with 35 patients requiring ventilator support. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Rayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah today held the weekly pre-cabinet meeting with Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin via video conference. The meeting was held following the implementation of the Conditional Movement Control Order CMCO throughout Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya and Selangor, which commenced today until the 27th of October. Tan Sri Muhyiddin, who is currently observing self-quarantine from home for 14 days since the 3rd of October, later chaired the cabinet meeting that was also conducted via video conference. The Prime Minister took to his official social media accounts to share with his followers on both meetings. It was reported that all attendees of the Special National Security Council (NSC) meeting chaired by the Prime Minister on the 3rd of October were advised by the Health Ministry to undergo home quarantine. This follows the announcement by Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Religious Affairs, Datuk Seri Dr. Zukiv Muhammad Al-Bakri, who confirmed that he had tested positive for COVID-19. Datuk Seri Dr. Zukiv was among those who had attended the meeting, which was held at the Prime Minister's Department in Putrajaya. In a related development, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli Muhammad Al-Bakri, has been discharged after he was confirmed to have completely recovered from COVID-19. The Minister has been advised to rest at home until the Conditional Movement Control Order CMCO ends. In a statement on Facebook today, Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli thanked the Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers and ulamas across the world who prayed for him as he was recovering from COVID-19 in the recent days. He also expressed his appreciation to the Health Minister, Health Director General and Health Ministry officials, particularly in Hospital Tuanku Jaffar in Seremban. The Minister was told not to visit anyone and that any meeting would have to be done through video conferences. Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli also prayed for Malaysians who are infected with COVID-19 to recover fast so they can continue their lives with the beloved family. Coming up, Customs seized drugs worth 1.7 million ringgit. A former political secretary of an ex-minister is set to be charged at the Kuala Lumpur court tomorrow over a bribery case involving 5 billion ringgit that is linked to the tender of a ministry project. The man, who is in his 40s, is believed to have assisted a contractor in securing a project from the ministry and to have received kickbacks from several individuals through several transactions. A Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) source said the man would be facing several charges under Section 16 of the MACC Act 2009. He is also expected to face other charges at the Shah Alam Court on the 23rd of October for the same offence. MACC Investigation Director Dato' Nur Azlan Muhammad Razali confirmed the matter when contacted. According to Dato' Nur Azlan, another 3 senior officials of the ministry who were also being investigated in connection with the same case are also expected to be charged soon. The Customs Department has foiled a ketamine smuggling attempt with the arrest of 2 foreigners and the seizure of more than 1.7 million ringgit worth of drugs. Customs Director General Datuk Seri Abdul Latif Abdul Kadir said a team comprising personnel from the KLIA Customs Enforcement Unit and Custom Narcotic Division raided a shop lot at Ampang at around 2:05 p.m. on the 8th of October. Dato Sri Abdul Latif said 2 men aged 37 and 45 who were just standing on the 5-footway of the shop lot unit were detained in the raid. Upon inspection, customs personnel found 35 cereal boxes containing 30.68 kilograms of ketamine.
Hasil daripada operasi ini, pasukan telah berjaya menahan 2 orang yang disyaki ataupun OIDS, iaitu lelaki, warga negara asing, lingkungan umur 30-an dan 40-an di sekitar Ampang, Selangor, dan berjaya merampas anggaran berat 30.68 kg dadah dalam bentuk serbuk, iaitu jenis ketamin yang dianggarkan bernilai 1.7 juta ringgit.
Briefing reporters at the KLIA Customs Cargo Complex in Sepang, he said investigations revealed the drugs had been smuggled together with food items from a South Asian country. Dato Sri Abdul Latif said a consignment of 53 boxes declared as food items were imported, but only 18 contained cereal. The remaining boxes contained about 700 grams of drugs in each box, he said, adding that the Customs Department believes the drugs were meant for the domestic market. Both suspects has been remanded for 7 days to assist with investigations into drug trafficking. Police have detained the mother of the baby found murdered at a house in Sungai Dua, Bacho, yesterday. Kelantan Police Chief Deputy Commissioner Shafian Mahmad said the 32-year-old woman was arrested yesterday to facilitate investigations into the case. A 40-year-old man believed to be the father of the 8-month-old victim was earlier picked up by the police at the same house where the body was found.
Untuk makluman juga, selain daripada suami, isteri juga turut ditangkap. Dan sekarang ni isteri dia masih dalam keadaan trauma dan ditahan di hospital.
DCP Shafian said this to reporters after witnessing the handing over ceremony between the State Narcotics Criminal Investigation Head, Assistant Commissioner Mint Emong, and State Community Prevention and Safety Department Head, Assistant Commissioner Sheikh Azhar Sheikh Omar. He said initial investigations showed that the baby died due to serious injuries to the head, suspected to be caused by a blunt object. The baby was found in salt-filled sack, believed to be murdered by a close relative early yesterday. DCP Shafian said based on the way the baby was murdered, police did not rule out the possibility of the father being involved in deviant teachings, and that the man was also said to have heard voices and had been hallucinating before committing the offence. Meanwhile, the man believed to have killed his own 8-month-old baby had to be carried by 5 policemen after he refused to enter the magistrate's court today for his remand proceedings. The police vehicle carrying the 40-year-old man arrived at the court complex at 9:20 a.m, but he was seen playing dumb and refused to get out of the vehicle even after being persuaded by several policemen for 10 minutes. This prompted one of the policemen to pull him out of the vehicle, and 5 other policemen had to pick him up and carry him to the courtroom for the remand proceedings. Magistrate Muhammad Dini Shazwan Abdul Shukur then issued a 7-day remand order against the man starting today to facilitate further investigation into the baby's murder under Section 302 of the Penal Code. A remand order will also be obtained for the baby's 32-year-old mother. And that concludes this evening's news at 10. In our top story, Malaysia's strong financial system able to safeguard its economy. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Till then, I'm Brendan Lepol. Stay tuned to Southern Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening.